seats. It is wonderful to see everyone. I can't tell you how wonderful it is to be together, how wonderful it is to be in our space, to be physically present with one another. All of you are so important to me, to Cantor, and our community. We care about each of you so deeply, and for us to be able to be here after so much time, for the choir to be back in our presence. We missed you. It has not been the same our high holidays. We welcome also Ken Kaufman here behind us, who is, of course, filling in for Paul Staley. Thank you, Ken. You can't be seen. It's you've got a wall, an impenetrable wall in front of you. So we'd like to, before services, practice our greetings, because first of all, as I said on Friday night, I already made a mistake, right, Mark? No more Shabbat Shalom. So we say Shana Tova. Shana Tova. Oh, you guys are well. So you could also say Good Yontif. Good Yontif. Perfect. And Shalom works. All right. So this year we also are bringing back our honors, which is truly wonderful. So we're using our Mishkan HaNefesh gold prayer books for Rosh Hashanah. Does everyone have a copy? Wonderful. And we're going to have various readers come, and we're going to be starting on page number 9. All the readers should come over here to the microphone. Page number 9, the time is now.
The time is now. We've gathered round, so bring all your gifts and bring all your burdens with you. No need to hide. Arms open wide, we gather as one to make a Makom Kadosh.
We come to tell, we come to hear, we come to teach, to learn, we come to grow, and so we say.
The time is now, sing to the one. God's presence is here. Shekhinah, you will dwell among us.
We'll make this space a holy place, so separate, so whole. Rejoice every soul who enters here.
Our candle blessing is on page 11, and we have Marina and Leah who are going to lead us in the candle lighting.
Asher
honor of this very first candle lighting of the year, we have the Shechianu right below on page 11. Bottom of 11, let us read together in English there the Shechianu prayer. Think about all the newness, how wonderful it is just to be here tonight. Source of blessing, eternal our God, you fill the universe with majestic might, giving us light, upholding life within us, and bringing us to this time. And we say, Amen. We're going to bring a little taste of the shofar in. We have our shofar blower, Stephen Glickman, in the back there with his now new bride in the back. We are going to be turning to page 15. At the very top, Tiku B'Kodesh Shofar.
Shofar,
bodies together for the shofar blast. We're going to actually do 3. I just talked to Stephen. We're going to do the first one that's listed. Ready? Here we go. Tikiyah. Shivarim. Trua. You have to come tomorrow to hear more. You may be seated. We'll turn to page 21 for Hineni prayer. page 21. Now at the bottom, we invite Sheila Bernard Tucker to do the reading.
Now bless the God of all, who in every way works wonders, who exalts our days from birth and deals with us with mercy. May God give us gladness of heart, and may there be peace in our days. King David said to all the people, "Now bless the eternal your God." And the whole congregation blessed the eternal God of their mothers and fathers, and bowed their heads low. In the presence of community, in pursuit of the sacred, in gratitude and awe, we bow before the infinite. The name of the eternal I proclaim, give glory to our God. May we renew our words of prayer tonight, restore their luster, bring them to life. Let song and silence and shofar sound awaken our souls.
Before we rise for the Baruch Hu, I'm going to invite Bruce Chorus over here to open our ark. For too long, it's been closed. We're ready to open it. You may please rise for the call to prayer, the Baruch Hu, on page 20. Standing on page 23 as I invite Marcia Bougie to do the reading, Bless Adonai. Marcia, you're speed walking out there. Right there, the microphone's over. Oh yeah, you could use that one, sure.
What, this one?
Either one.
Bless Adonai, who spins day into dusk. With wisdom, watch the dawn gates open. With understanding, let time and seasons come and go. With awe, perceive the stars in lawful orbit. Morning dawns, evening darkens, darkness and light yielding one to the other, yet each distinguished and unique. Marvel at life, strive to know its ways, seek wisdom and truth, the gateways to life's mysteries. Wondrous indeed is the evening twilight. The quickening of the moon calls us to return, and we gather, seem dwellers on the edge of the earth. As the sun lowers itself into the sea, introspection rises. A sliver cracks the heart of the firmament, the vast blackness an invitation to write ourselves anew. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, creator of twilight and dusk.
We continue on the next page, 24, with Avato.
Torah
remain standing on 2627 for the Shema. I'd like to invite Relic Chorus up to our microphone to lead us in the Via Hafta on page 28. It'll go right to page 30 afterwards.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha l'chol v'aka u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol miodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mizavaka hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivteka v'veitecha u'vlechteka v'derech u'shakbaka u'kumecha u'shartam li'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totivot bein einecha u'ktavtam al mimizot beitecha u'vishkarecha l'ma'an tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kidoshim le'lohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeitichem me'eretz Mizrayim liot lachem l'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
At the bottom of page 33, I'd like to invite up Maureen Seitz to lead us in You Have Stayed Long Enough.
To break the bonds of anger, to be generous of heart, to break the bonds of shame, to live with self-respect, to break the bonds of envy, to serve one another in joy, to break the bonds of boredom, to be attentive to all God's gifts, to break the bonds of fear, to live with courage and strength, to untie the knots of betrayal, to love with fullness of being, to break the bonds of loneliness, to receive a hand of hope, to break the bonds of self-centeredness, to extend a hand of help. Released from the darkness, our people found the freedom at the sea. We pray for liberation at the dawning of the year. You have stayed long enough in this place, God said. Time to go forward. Turn your face to the future. Believe that you can cross the sea and survive. Inside you is Moses. Within you, Miriam dances unafraid. Lift up your voice and sing a new song.
Page 34, Mi Chamocha. 36, we have one of my favorites by Craig Taubman, the Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Habitenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Habitenu malkeinu l'shalom, Habitenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Habitenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzidkenu, uvoenu, l'chaim u'shalom, me'ata ve'ad olam.
Page 42, I'd like to invite up Mark Slonim to read for us Rosh Hashanah in the Pines. It has a nice ring to it. Thank you. I gave you the page next, page 37.
Darkness settles slowly across the horizon. The new year arises before us, its fragile moon awaiting our embrace. Heaven and earth entwine in their annual dance of recreation. A fissure appears in the firmament tonight, an entranceway to new beginnings. Out beyond the swells, the sea expands and contracts, keeping time to the thrumming of the universe. Under this Rosh Hashanah sky, the path before us is uncertain. All we can do is hold each other tight as we make our way home.
Thank you. We rise, if you're able, for the silent Amidah. This is our opportunity to express our prayers to God. It begins on 42. Take time now for your own private thoughts and prayers, and whenever you're ready, you may be seated. song that we'll be singing together is in your leaflet. There's a little blue sheet attached, the circle chant.
Circle round for freedom, circle round for peace, for all of us in prison. Circle for release, circle for the planet, circle for each soul. For the children of our children, keep a circle round for freedom, circle round for peace, for all of us in prison, circle for release, circle for planet, circle for each soul, for the children of our children, keep a circle round for freedom, circle round for peace, for all of us in prison, circle for release, circle for the planet, circle for each soul, for the children of our children, keep a circle.
It's amazing, really, to hear all of your voices collecting together. And I was so touched by one of the choir members before we came in, said this is their favorite moment of the whole year. How special it is that you lend your voices to us. And I didn't realize how important it also was to you, so thank you. Thank you so much. Before I begin my talk tonight, I would like you to take what happened today and kind of throw it away. I did have a couple of people say, I don't think I can make it to services tonight. And I want to take us back to last Monday night. Anyone there at Bill Stadium Monday night or watching on the TV? Yeah, apparently I made it on ESPN. I didn't know whether to be embarrassed or excited. I really am not sure. Okay, good, yeah. But Bruce said I had my shirt on. Last Monday night, on this cusp of the first Buffalo Bills home game, that was the first time I'd ever been to the stadium when it was completely filled. 60,000 fans, apparently, on their feet, wildly cheering. Number 17 emblazed on half of their backs, our beloved former quarterback, Jim Kelly, riling up the crowd, and a mysterious figure filled the big screen of the stadium. For those of you who have been fans since at least the 90s, anyone here? Okay. I'm sorry. His visage was unmistakable, a beacon of hope, a reminder of glory days past, one of the most renowned figures in our Jewish sports canon, an adopted Buffalonian, our coach, our hero, none other than the professor himself, Mr. Marv Levy. Everyone see him there? It was incredible. Despite now just being 3 years shy of 100, he looked every bit the part of the coach who served for over a decade, more than 2 decades ago. And with the camera pointed at him on that big screen, he called out in a strong, clear voice, you know what he said? Where else would you rather be? Right here, right now. Indeed, where else would we rather be than right here, right now? This may not be Highmark Stadium, but after 30 months of pandemic, it is good to be back here. It is good to see everyone's faces here. It is good to see each other, to see one another, and to spend time together in person. To start our new Jewish year, I'm going to let you know what it is for your checkbooks, okay? 5783, so don't get confused. 5783. I would like to offer a few more Marvisms. If you don't know what a Marvism, Marv Levy was not only famous for his coaching ability, but also for his ability to turn a phrase. His wisdom, and I know Bruce appreciates this because you're very pithy, his wisdom, like the wisdom of our sages, is at once insightful and endearing. We're adapting them a little bit to our synagogue environment. Here are Pirkei Avot, Marv Levy style. Marvism number 1. All the buildup and hype, everything else is foam. Our games are the wine. I changed it. Tonight on Erev Rosh Hashanah, we may not have beer, but we have wine aplenty, and I can see it there in our Kiddush cup. We fill our Shir Shalom 10th anniversary cups, and those of you who came in today received one of these wonderful packages here, which was a surprise to me, so thank you. And this is a wonderful one. It says Shir Shalom 10th anniversary. How wonderful. So we fill our 10th anniversary cups with wine to the brim, and we say, L'chaim, to life. We think back on all the hard work and preparation that led to this moment. The spectacular moments of this past year and the sad ones as well. We hold all of these in our hearts, quelling and consoling at the same time. According to tradition, our wine should not just fill the glass, but overflow it. It's in recognition of the many blessings that are overflowing in our lives. However, as we know at Congregation Shir Shalom, these past 2 Rosh Hashanahs, our cup over there has been empty. Empty because sharing wine felt unsafe. Empty because drinking together just didn't feel right. Empty because there was no one to share our joy with. Tonight, it is empty no more. For the first time on Rosh Hashanah since 2019, we have a full cup, and we say together, L'chaim! Marvism number 2. If Michelangelo had wanted to play it safe, he would have painted the floor of the Sistine Chapel. Every year before High Holy Days, I have a choice to make. Do I give you an easy sermon? One that sounds nice but doesn't push us out of our comfort zone. One perhaps a variation of what I've given before. One the congregation you want to hear, but not necessarily the one that we need to hear. And every year I come to the same conclusion. No. Every year Cantor must make the same calculation, maybe holding back a bit with her voice or choosing an easier song. And every year she too comes to that same conclusion. No. Every year our board has to decide, what are we going to do on high holidays? And every year we take a chance and we say no. We must all lean into our discomfort. Our collective vulnerability is important. To change requires risk. And when one of us takes a risk, all of us are encouraged to do so. This past Friday night, just a couple days ago, we watched 4 women, Sharon, Renee, Audrey, and Ruth, stretch themselves past what they ever thought was possible, reading Torah with trope. The past several weeks, we've had 3 B'nai Mitzvah students. We had 4, right? We have Max and Talia, Peyton and Hannah. I know we have Peyton over here. All of them who took turns leading a service, reading Torah, and speaking from their hearts as 13-year-olds. Amazing. A month and a half ago, almost 24 of our congregants traveled to Eastern Europe together. Raise your hand if you are among that group. For many in the group, this was the first time they had traveled since before the pandemic. In the past 6 months, we've had 6 people, Ned, Sean, Joella, Francis, Cameron, and Everett, who have made their way into Judaism to become Jews. Think of all the moments that you took a risk this year, reaching out to someone you were afraid to talk to, saying sorry to a loved one, traveling to a place you had not gone before, visiting someone who needed support, taking on a new role or a position, learning a new skill. We may not always succeed, but we should always try. Marvism number 3. What it takes to win is simple, but it's not easy. For inspiration this year, I thought, because our work is hard, I thought of all the individuals who have been with us year after year after year, giving without question, showing up without being asked, lending a hand whenever they possibly can. I see them showing up for Shavetta's barbecue, acting as service greeters, attending services, communal events. They have been here so many times it is impossible to count. They practically have chairs here with their names. The synagogue community may be important to them, but they are incredibly important to our synagogue community. To show you just how many of you are like this, let's do this by standing up, actually. Okay, those of you in this community who have been here for our full decade as a congregation, who stand up. Okay, remain standing if you have been here not just in Shir Shalom, but in our preceding congregations or in other congregations for 20 years or more. Remain standing. Peyton, you're not old enough yet. So. What about 30 years or more? 40 years or more? 50 years or more? I know over here, Marty and Ruth, I got it. Anyone 60 years or more? Okay, how about 70 years or more? Just a few of you. Amazing, amazing. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart and from all of our hearts. Without you, we wouldn't have a community together. In addition to them, I thought of all the newcomers, all those people who have entered into an unfamiliar environment and brought joy and love to everything that we do. So let's now, people that have become a part of Shir Shalom congregation in the past year, if you could stand up. How about in the past 2 years? 3 years? 4 years? 5 years? Again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Without you, we wouldn't have community. You may be seated. The Bills may have a mafia. We have a mafia as well. You make our hard work easy. Marvism number 4. When it's too tough for them, it's just right for us. The real secret to everything we do at Shir Shalom is the fun. Instead of seeing obstacles as obstacles, we see them as challenges. This is how we have survived the pandemic, and this is how we have thrived at a time when many synagogues are folding. In your lives, embrace challenge. Encourage one another to take chances. Take chances yourself. There is nothing better than watching one another as we learn, grow, and change, no matter what your age is. For my final Marvism, I present you not with a saying, but with the man himself. Marvism number 5, Marv Levy. Before he was a head coach, of course, he is a human being, a glorious one. He was born in 1925, the eldest child of Ida and Sam Levy. Ida was a smart and vibrant Jew who fled Russia as a young woman. Sam was a World War I vet who had enlisted as a 16-year-old, lying about his age, and served in the Marines, fighting in the famous Battle of Belleau. I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry. And receiving a Purple Heart for bravery. By day, Sam worked transporting produce from rural farms into the city of Chicago, where they lived. Their home was in the south side of Chicago. And the only thing I know about the south side of Chicago is from the famous Jim Croce song, Leroy Band. It's the baddest part of town, right? Not the easiest place to grow up. But for Marv, it was a place of camaraderie, where people of all nationalities, races, and ethnicities, Jews, blacks, Italians, Irish, Greeks, and Scandinavians, bonded together. His parents wanted more for him than being a produce salesman, and so anytime he would bring his broom into the shop to help out, they told him to go play football. He was apparently very fast as a child. He would win every race, except I think he ran against this guy Buddy, who eventually beat him, but that was it. And he was studious, always with a book. When he turned 18, he enlisted in the Army to fight in World War II, hoping to be a fighter pilot. But if you've seen Marv Levy like me lately, his eyes aren't so good, and so he got a desk job. After the war, he used the GI Bill to go to college, eventually ending up at Harvard Law School. That looked to be the trajectory of his career, what every parent dreams, right? Until he caught the coaching bug. You can imagine he called up his father to tell him his decision. There was a long 30-second pause on the phone. He wasn't sure what his father would say, and eventually he said, "Be a good one." His first assignment was at Coe College in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Before his official first day, the head football coach at the school, Dick Clausen, sat Marv down in his office and asked him a few questions. He asked him to name his coaching idols. Marv thought about it and began to rattle off a list of famous coaches like Bear Bryant, Vince Lombardi, Paul Brown, Woody Hayes. They are outstanding coaches, Clausen taught him, but if you try to be like any one of them, you won't be. And I'll tell you something else. If you do that, you won't be Marv Levy either. Marv Levy looked at his mentor confused. Just be yourself, Clausen told him. What wonderful advice. Coming from a profession that often values a loud voice over a kind heart, Marv Levy treated his players, his staff, the reporters, the fans, and everyone he came in contact with the utmost respect. He is a mensch. We saw this in our good times celebrating any one of his 123 wins, and in bad times as well, mourning the losses, particularly the ones in the Super Bowl, putting his arm around Scott Norwood and singing a Scottish fight song. As Reb Zusha, the 18th century Hasidic master, once said, "We are not called on our holiest day to be anyone else. We only need to be ourselves." Look around our room today. We may not have 60,000 fans here. cheering and approval, but we have our fellow community members, my heroes, your heroes, the ones who wake up every day to make the most of this life we have been given. And that alone is enough to make me want to shout. All right, ready? Hey, 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 hey. Shana Tova, to a sweet, new, happy, and healthy new year. We're going to turn to a wonderful song about that sweetness. It is in your leaflet, Oh Guide My Steps.
Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps and help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps.
We're going to turn to our prayer of healing on page 72. There's so many in our community in need of healing. And we'll read together in the English first, and then I'll go around. And if you have names, just raise your hands. May the Eternal One who blesses all life bless and strengthen all of us who struggle against illness. Let's do it responsively. May we whose lives are touched by illness be blessed with faith, courage, love, and caring. May we experience the support and sustenance of friends, companions, and community. May we be granted restful nights and days of comfort. We pray for refuah shlema, precious moments of healing, and a sense of wholeness in body and soul. May those who find care for the sick with their hands, their voices, their hearts, be blessed with courage and stamina. May those who pursue healing through medical skill and knowledge be blessed with insight, patience, and compassion. May all of us, the sick and the well together, find courage and hope, and let us say, Amen. Raise your hands if you have people that you're thinking about. Marlene, click. bring all those names into our heart as we turn, to page 73. Bruce to open our ark as we turn to page 75. And I'd like to invite up Mark Nightinger and Sue Frank to read for us the English version of Avinu Malkeinu, 75. Please rise.
We haven't forgotten Avinu Malkeinu, though we've overthrown kings and we disobey fathers, and we have no great liking for absolute power.
Akiva stood before you in time of drought, and his words went up like a flame on the altar. Avinu Malkeinu, you alone are our ruler. Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion for us. He was humble and forgiving, so his prayer was answered.
Tonight we speak again in a time of drought. Dry ground beneath us, no water, only rock. Not a hunger for bread or a thirst for water, but hearts that are longing to hear God's voice. For the sea of faith is all but gone. The tide's gone out on the empty beach.
The world mocks our hopes, and life tests our courage. Why do the wicked live on and prosper? Why are you silent when they prey on the innocent? And if your dominion is kindness and justice, why is creation in so much pain?
Avinu Malkeinu, sustain our souls. Send rain to our roots. Help us find a way to pray. Make us humble and forgiving of ourselves and one another. Avinu Malkeinu, renew these words. Help us speak them with conviction and believe their truth.
100 generations have stood before the ark, and they lifted up their voices like flame on the altar, and they put their trust in kindness and justice, and they gave their strength to make the promise real. Avinu Malkeinu, we haven't forgotten. Avinu Malkeinu, bring us back to you.
On the bottom of page 77, we'll sing together Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vaneinu, Yemanu Masi, Asei Manu.
remain standing for Aleinu on page 82. Page 84. You may be seated. We were missing the yard site list. Thank you. We're going to turn to our Mourner's Kaddish, which is on page number 90. We are mourning the loss of Nancy Schiller, who died this past week, of Nicholas Caracello, Ruth Hellman, Helen Weiser, and Tricia Woodson, who died in the past month. From our yard site list years past, we remember Gloria Atlas, Jack Burstein, Solomon Bahovsky, Estelle Borowitz, Barbara Brogadier, Leo Berwick, Sarah C. Carr, Dora Chapovitsky, Malka Chaya Chapovitsky, Pesach Chapovitsky, Yankif Joseph Chapovitsky, Lorraine Cherbo, Saul Cutler, Gerald Glasser, Benjamin Golden, Jacob Hesch, Selah Hesch, Lizzie Iggers, Betty Markle Jacobson, Milton Jaffe, Leo Kahn, Kenneth Karch, Harriet Karras, Jack S. Knopp, Norman Levine, Marie Malucci, William Mintzer, Milton Phillips, Aaron Plaskin, Pauline Rosikoff, Edith Schwartz, Mervyn Schwartz, Jay Schwartz, Minnie Sirota, Goldner Shapoznikoff, Isidore Simon, Susan Solander Bayless, Evelyn Solomons, Benjamin Starsky, Sam Sabatnik, Jerry Simons, Martin Tall, Minnie Taubkin, Lawrence Vogel, Louis E. Weinberg, Harriet Chazen Wexler, Minna Winiger, Mary Wunder, Bella Zebrak. If there's other names you'd like to have read, just please raise your hand. All whose custom it is to rise, the Kaddish is on page number 90. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach irite v'yamlik malchute, b'chayachon v'yamachon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. Zman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam olmei maya. Yibarak v'yishtabak v'yipar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shemei dekudashah, b'rechu, le'ela u'le'ela, mikol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, damiran v'yalma v'yimuramein, yehi shlamuraba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimuramein, o says shalom v'yimuramav, huya says shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yoshvei tevel v'yimuramein. May the source of peace bestow peace on all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved, and we say together, Amen. You may be seated. Zikronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. I'd like to invite up Bruce Chorus multitasker, to give the announcement.
Lashana Tova. Good Yontif. Happy New Year. Go Bills. We still believe very much. Thank you to Rabbi Alex, Cantor Frank, Ken Kaufman, our choir, our singers, for a beautiful service tonight to kick off High Holidays 5783. First announcements of the new year. Special. Special thanks to Millie also for being with us this year. It's such a difficult year for you as it's been for us, and we know this wasn't an easy decision, but there's a lot of love for you in the room tonight, and we're very grateful that you're with us. And we're very grateful to Ken for stepping in at a very difficult time for us. This is not the high holidays we expected, obviously, and we thank you for stepping in for us. It's just so nice to see everyone together. We're here. We're in this room. It's just nice to have everyone together. We have, as you know, relaxed our restrictions with COVID. We're not restricting the seating. Masks are optional. We want to thank those of you that are wearing masks, choosing to do so. And for those of you that aren't, please be respectful of the ones that are. It's their choice, and we respect their decision. Tomorrow morning, we're back here, and we probably will be in there as well. We'll open the wall for a bigger crowd. 10:30 tomorrow morning for the Rosh Hashanah morning service. Then family service is at 3 o'clock. That's with Rabbi Alex, Cantor Frank, and Dr. Andy Simons. That one is open to the community. Tashlich will follow at 4 o'clock. Meet here in the parking lot. BYOP. Bring your own pebbles. We're not casting bread into the water anymore. We're casting pebbles. It is more environmentally friendly. Everyone is welcome. At least this year, Joanne didn't say we're casting stones into the lake because it's Ellicott Creek. We're not going anywhere near the lake. You may have noticed in your prayer books that some of them have a dedication in them. We began that a couple of years ago when we got our new prayer books. You can dedicate the set of prayer books. We have one for Rosh Hashanah, one for Yom Kippur, in memory of someone, in honor of someone. If you're interested in doing so, contact Joanne. I think we have some forms outside the office. And considering that our last high holiday prayer books lasted for about 40 years, you will get your money's worth out of this dedication. We have a complimentary breakfast bagel box after Yom Kippur services. That's on Wednesday, October 5th at about 7:30, depending on how long they go. If you still want to sign up for that, email Joanne. You must RSVP by September 28th, which is Wednesday. The Breakfast Bagel Box drive-thru is sponsored by the Rabbi's Discretionary Fund and is catered by Johnny C's. Hey, we want to make a special thank you to our synagogue president, Todd Sugarman, and his crew from TLS Landscaping. Every year for the high holidays, they're over there at Whitechapel. They clean up the cemetery. They trim all around the stones. It's really a beautiful thing that they do. In fact, he texted me yesterday. They were over there doing it, and he always stops to say hello to everyone who's there. And so yesterday he texted me a picture of my dad's plaque, and he says, "Your father says you're funny in the announcements, but you're talking too long." Which is what Dad would have said if he was still alive. So anyway, by the way, some of you already picked up your special gift from the Women of Shir Shalom. This is our 10th anniversary wine glass, and of course, we should all have our own wine glass, right? It's a special thing. So if you didn't pick one up on the way in, please get it on the way out. Thank you to the Women of Shir Shalom for doing that. I hope you noticed the flyer out in the lobby for Walk Off Hunger. That is back. It's October 15th. It's our 15th annual one. Since we started it in 2008, we have raised an awful lot of money to provide millions of meals for Western New Yorkers in need. We're doing that again this year, so the flyer has the link to the Shir Shalom page. You can sign up. And if you have any questions about that, please see me. By the way, what do you think of the rabbi's sermon tonight? Made you want to shout, right? Yashakoa, indeed. Yashakoa. So the rabbi has also prepared a little collection of his high holiday sermons from our first 10 years. By the way, that was his first sermon, high holiday sermon of our second 10 years. And to use a football term, that was a pretty good kickoff. No, okay. Anyway, but he's prepared a collection of them. Are they outside in the lobby? grab one on the way out if you would like. We're not done after the service, by the way. We're going to be in the parking lot immediately following the service for the shofar blowing. Thank you to Stephen Glickman for being back for that. Lashana Tova. If you need anything, please talk to one of the ushers. They're wearing their badges and their boutonnieres. And Happy New Year, healthy New Year, safe New Year, uneventful New Year. Thank you for being part of our wonderful Shir Shalom family.
All right, we're going to see about the shofar blowing. I don't know. I don't see Stephen there. What's that? Well, I don't know if Stephen might have. Joe's out there. Okay, Joe will do it. Okay. All right, we are going to Kiddush and Hamotzi, and I saw some of our longest standing members kind of in the front. So Marwan, you want to come up? And Ruth and Marty, you want to come up? Oh, before the two. Okay, so hold on. We're gonna do Adon Olam first. I missed that one. Okay, 94 first, Adon Olam, and then we'll call you guys up. Marwan and Ruth. Marty, sorry, what did I say? Marwan's over here. Marty and Ruth and. Oh, Marty and Marwan. So, Ruth, if you want to join, it's up to you. So, we have Kiddush. It is on page 79 and 80. Marty, where are you going? No, we're doing it down there, Marty. He was very diligent. Now, Marwan, were you there at the beginning of Beth Am? Right, close. And Marty, were you there? You were almost at the beginning of Temple Sinai, 5 years after. Okay, so one of you lift up the cup there, and Cantor will lead us in the Kiddush.
Asher b'kabanu mikol ודברך אמת וקיים לעד. ברוך אתה אדוני מלך הכל הארץ בקדש ישראל. 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 ויום הזיכרון. Amen.
L'chaim, l'chaim. And Marwan, you want to lift up the challah there?
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו והקימנו והביאנו לזמן הזה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. On page 99. Our God and God of our ancestors, eternal God of all generations, may your presence in our lives this new year renew our spirits, renew our strength. May it be a good year. May it be a sweet year.
לשנה טובה תקדמו, לשנה טובה תקדמו. Holy year of peace we wish to you.
As you came in peace, may you leave in peace. Oh, we didn't do bless this year? Yeah, we have to do
Oh, we
that.
can do that as they're getting out of their
Okay.
chairs. That'd be fun.
So as you came in peace, may you leave in peace. Please be careful in the parking lots. Take your machzorim, your prayer books, bring them to the front minus the leaflet, and we will be meeting either Joe or Stephen outside. Oh, Joe is going to do it.